Welcome back, everyone, to the Rebirth Sanctuary Podcast. I'm your host, Tanisha, your wellness empowerment coach, your rebirth doula. Here we speak on everything from mindfulness to burnout to loving back on yourself. Self-love is very key on this podcast. I'm always here to empower individuals to just become the best version of themselves. Today's topic is going to be on traveling, my number one thing that I love to do. And I'm bringing this episode back in a way because last season I ended off this podcast with traveling and how traveling helped heal my burnout and solo traveling at that. It's been so pivotal on my journey, and I love different cultures. I love to travel. I love to see different people, and so much so that I'm now seeing how this podcast is also reaching so many different people in different countries that I couldn't have imagined when I started this podcast. I was looking at my insights like last week, and I saw that there are people from Japan listening to this podcast, Norway, Finland, and Russia. And I was blown because I'm like, wow, there's people in different continents who are tapping in. And I didn't think that this podcast would have this reach. So I want to first start off by saying thank you to people who I don't even know that are listening to this podcast or watching it on YouTube. And it feels really nice to know that no matter your culture, no matter who you are, we are all going through these real life experiences of burnout, of mental health. And even if this podcast gives you a little bit of empowerment or makes you feel seen, I feel like I've done my job. And that is just to touch this collective and be here riding with you, sharing my stories. And this brings me to the point of traveling. When you're able to experience and appreciate different cultures, I believe that it makes you a more well-rounded individual. I recently had another year of traveling and taking some time to myself. And there have been so many revelations that have come from that, especially after 2025 was the first year where I actually didn't take a solo trip. And I felt it in my system. I felt my nervous system was just very off because I was in the height of my burnout, as I've explained in the beginning of this season of this podcast. If you've been following, I was just trying to get to the bag and figure my life out, truly. And I know for me that when I go to a different state, when I go to a different country, I expand. My soul expands. I take a piece of me into that new place and I bring back something and I leave something too. Sometimes it's healing. Sometimes it's just fun experiences. Sometimes it's spiritual. It's all about the intention. As when you're going on your solo trips, like what do you intend to happen? What is your desire? I personally love to write in my journal what I would like to experience when I'm going to a new place. And I've found that usually that happens. And there's always surprises. And it's being open to those experiences with letting the universe show you something new, let you meet someone new, and try something new too. And that's why I feel that this helps me so much with my burnout, because usually when I'm in a rut, I'm doing the mundane things, the same thing over and over, or I'm just in a routine and that routine needs to be broken. Shake things up. Traveling does that. You're in a new environment. You maybe speak the language, maybe you don't. And so technically that can be a stressor. But for me, I take it as an opportunity to, one, learn a new skill because I love learning languages. And also, I get to see how it is for other people because not everyone has English or Spanish as their first language. So if I'm going to Japan, for example, they may not know much English. I may not know Japanese. But there is a level of understanding each other that I have found to be so beautiful. It's like when I'm listening to music in a different language, for whatever reason, on the frequency, I feel what the singer is trying to say. I can tell if it's a sad song, if it's a happy song. Everything is energetic. And I love that when I'm meeting a new person, a stranger, and we can still feel that interaction with each other, even if we don't speak the same language. So for me personally, it's exciting. For someone else, it might not be so. But let me bring it back to the solo traveling, and why I feel that it's just everyone needs to experience it at some point in their life. One, you don't have to wait on anyone to go do it. You can literally go to a different state, an hour away, and book yourself a hotel. Book yourself an Airbnb. If you have a friend, ask them if you can use their place, if you have that luxury. And just make your own itinerary. It's fun to plan that out and explore and research what the town has. If you're going out of the country, it's the same thing. See what activities you like to do. Book a tour. Check out a museum. Have some stillness. Go to the beach. Me personally, on my last solo trip that I took, I knew that I needed a reset after 2025 of just being very hard for me. And I made it my wellness retreat. I had a hot tub, which I hit up every single day. My body was sore. I was having some neck and shoulder problems, which usually occurs when I'm underneath a lot of stress. There's a lot of fight or flight that was going on in my life. So water has a lot of healing benefits to it, and the warmth of the jacuzzi, hot tub, it felt amazing for me. I also knew going in that I didn't want to have to cook my meals when I got there. I wanted this to be a very simple, easeful trip for me. So I cooked food and I booked the cabin because that's the type of vibe that I wanted, very winterish flow in up north Georgia. And this was a first for me, booking that. It's always been on my bucket list to go to a cabin and just be by myself and enjoy my time. And that's exactly what I did. And to me, that is the biggest act of self-love, saying that you're going to do something and do it. So I took that drive up there and it was so restorative. Just having quiet, being able to hear your thoughts, for some people it can be scary, because how often do you really just slow down and go within? Silence can be scary if you're scared of your own thoughts, if you're used to being influenced by other people all the time, if you're used to a lot of noise. Sometimes these things can be scary. But again, it's a new experience to learn yourself. What do I like to do when I'm alone? I journaled a lot. I'm not going to call it poetry, but I wrote some things down in a notebook that I keep specifically just for thoughts that come to me, inspirations, sentences, and sometimes it flows, sometimes it doesn't. I don't give myself any type of judgment, but to me that feels good. I made a R&B playlist. That is fun for me. Listening to new music, hearing new artists, I truly enjoy that, and so I took the time to do that as well. I danced in the living room. Love a good turn up by myself. That brings me joy, so much joy. I ate nutritious food and I went hiking. I'm a big avid hiker. I love to explore new sceneries. I found a beautiful lake that was off the beaten path. I'm the one who goes into the woods and I don't follow the trail. And I feel like that's life. You can't always take the narrow, straight path, because sometimes when you go off the path, there's so much mysterious, beautiful things that you couldn't have imagined. I'm going to post a video on my YouTube of this experience, because when I walked through the woods and I saw this enormous lake and, there's mountains around, I did not feel like I was in Georgia at all. Maybe Colorado, maybe a different country, I don't know, but I felt like I time traveled in a way into just a new land. And it was breathtaking. I was so moved. I remember literally just staring at it and saying my desires and my intentions out to the universe, because when's the next chance I'm going to be here again? I don't know, but in this moment, it felt like the right thing to do. And those are the moments that I'm so grateful for. I appreciate that, this is what solo traveling gives me. It gives me this feeling of peace, of inner joy. And all I did was take a trip about 3 hours away from where I live in Atlanta. And that shifted my whole experience. And it gave me the inspiration for this episode because truly, I was just going to end this season with the last episode that you guys had, but it's so fitting that this is episode number 8. 8 is about abundance, expansion, and everything. Love, peace, joy, material success, wealth, anything that you want. So I'm glad that I got the notion to talk about this experience and to record this podcast for you guys today. If anyone has seen Tracy Ellis Ross episodes on her solo traveling, I love seeing it because it's everything that I feel about solo traveling. It helps your mental health. It really, really does. That expansion that you feel, because usually when you're feeling depressed or anxious, you are in a routine that is not serving you at the moment. You don't know what to do. You don't know how you can shake things up and lose that feeling. And I feel automatically that when you go someplace new, that helps. It's like working out. The adrenaline starts pumping up and your body is releasing endorphins. And that to me is what traveling does. And so seeing her on a larger scale in different countries, like I believe she went to Morocco, and I was inspired just watching her. I'm like, man, I can't wait to go to Morocco. Like this is going to be good for me. She went to Mexico. I've been there. And you just feel different. I also feel that you become a new individual every time you go someplace. It's like a level up in your system. And for me, when I was on this hiking trail, I just kept thinking like, wow, something's going to change in my life. I don't know what it is, but I feel different. I feel like something amazing is coming my way. And it's hope. Hope for a better future. Hope for a better life. Hope for my nervous system being regulated more and more. The hope that burnout has left, that this season is over. I couldn't imagine being here where I am right now a year ago. It was too hard. It really was hard. It was just so much sadness, so much grief, so much anger built inside of me. And to see me here speaking and traveling and alchemizing, I'm just blessed, truly blessed, because I can see the sunshine around me again. I can feel me wanting to do more in my business, wanting me to speak more to people and hold space. It takes a lot to show up for others when you haven't shown up for yourself. And taking the time now to do that, to fill my cup up so I can pour into others through traveling, is amazing. There is going to be a lot more travel for me in 2026. Definitely going out the country. I'm not going to speak on where because I like to build it up a little bit and make sure that my intentions and my desires are in the right place. And then I'll speak on those experiences when I have them. But I'm really looking forward to what this year has, what it's going to be bringing me, and how I'll be sharing it. There's going to be different ways that are going to come about for the next season. And who knows? Right now, I'm saying that this is the last episode of season 2, but maybe I'll get a different set of inspiration because everything is impermanence. Right now, I only have this current moment with you all. And in speaking of solo traveling, I have an excerpt of The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra that I wanted to read to you all because I read this while I was on vacation, while I was taking my solo trip. I love to have a great book with me. And this book has been talking about everything that I speak on this podcast, that I'm looking for in my life, that I'm constantly searching for, and I feel that I'm now finding it. Do less and accomplish more. How many times on this podcast have I said my mantra is slow is fast and fast is slow? Ultimately, you come to the state where you do nothing and accomplish everything. This means that there is just a faint idea, and then the manifestation of the idea comes about effortlessly. What is commonly called a miracle is actually an expression of the law of least effort. Nature's intelligence functions effortlessly, frictionlessly, spontaneously. It is nonlinear, it is intuitive, holistic, and nourishing. And when you are in harmony with nature, when you are established in the knowledge of your true self, you can make use of the law of least effort. Least effort is expended when your actions are motivated by love, because nature is held together by the energy of love. When you seek power and control over other people, you waste energy. When you seek money or power for the sake of the ego, you spend energy chasing the illusion of happiness instead of enjoying happiness in the moment. When you seek money for personal gain only, you cut off the flow of energy to yourself and interfere with the expression of nature's intelligence. But when your actions are motivated by love, there is no waste of energy. When your actions are motivated by love, your energy multiplies and accumulates. And the surplus energy you gather and enjoy can be channeled to create anything that you want, including wealth. I read this excerpt because I have experienced this. I've shared how I was only focused on clients in my business. I was only focused on making money, building myself up. And that did not work. I had to learn the hard way. And traveling has shown me that when I put myself first, when I have a new experience, things come to me with ease, the law of least effort. I have come back from my solo trip to emails, to people messaging me. And sometimes I just can't fathom it. Like, I didn't do anything. They reached out to me. Someone recently saw my podcast from, I don't even know where they live, to be honest, but they reached out and they want to collab on my podcast. That's something that hasn't really occurred. And I'm like, it's really getting out there more and more. And it's humbling and shocking. And not shocking to the state of like, oh, I don't deserve this. It's shocking of how God, this universe, can just bring things into your orbit when you're not looking for it. When you're just focused on your mental health, your well-being, having fun experiences. Money is a currency. Money is physical. It's material. The real currency is love. Pouring into each other as a collective, sharing our knowledge, our wisdom, the power within, having inner peace and joy. Those are the things that really helps us elevate in this world. Do less. It will give you more. That is the biggest thing that I would love for you to take away from this podcast. Because it's not always easy, because we're taught in this society that you have to do more, that you have to keep pushing, and you have to make it happen. But if we believe in higher power, really and truly, we're just here in this physical being, and there are energies and things around us that are helping us get to where we want to be, because they know our intentions are pure. Once your intentions are pure, then everything you want will come to you. You don't have to be so stressed about the future, which is where your anxiety flares up. You don't have to be focused on the past, the mistakes that you made, because that's where depression lies. Right here. Be here in the present moment. This is when you feel the best. This is when you're not worrying. This is when you're at ease. So I would love to hear what you guys are thinking about just traveling some more, however that looks like to you, and doing less in your life. Think about, and I'd love for you guys to drop this in the comments too, like, where are some places that you would like to go? What's been stopping you from booking the trip, book the flight, and what would you like to experience? What are your intentions for the trip that you want to take? Family, this has been amazing. You guys rocking with me for another season. of the Rebirth Sanctuary Podcast. I will still be on YouTube doing some lives and videos on there. But for now, as we are in the winter season, or whenever you guys hear this, it might still be winter, it might be spring, who knows. But I'm personally going within and having some more silence time and cultivating a retreat experience for myself, just on a more day-to-day basis. And just like winter's resting and nature is silent and she's still, I'm going to be doing the same thing and just take some time away. Not because anything is going wrong, but because I know that that's what my nervous system needs to be able to constantly show up for you. I love you guys. I look forward to another season and just seeing what life has in store for me and for you. Until then, family, take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. I love you. Peace.